In the quiet heart of the forest, Cruelty found a patient soul. It began on a warm morning beneath the ancient banyan trees, whose sprawling branches had offered shade for generations. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and sweet blossoms, a gentle hum of life vibrating through the forest floor. Sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, painting shifting patterns on the ground. This was a place of established rhythms, a sanctuary where the laws of nature were understood without being spoken. And in the heart of this tranquility, a story was about to unfold, a test of patience that would ripple through the quiet community of the forest. A great water buffalo stood grazing, calm as the river at dawn. His presence was a portrait of serene strength, his powerful shoulders relaxed, his large dark eyes reflecting the peaceful world around him. He moved with a deliberate grace, each motion economical and unhurried, a living embodiment of the quiet dignity of the wild. He was a fixture in this landscape, as much a part of it as the trees and the river itself, content in his solitude and the simple act of being. Then a flicker of movement, a disruption in the calm. A monkey dropped from the branches above. He was a creature of impulse and restless energy, his small eyes gleaming with a mischievous intelligence that bordered on malice. He landed not with the soft touch of a falling leaf, but with a deliberate thud, announcing his arrival. The buffalo barely registered him, accustomed to the forest's many inhabitants. But this was no casual visit. The monkey had an agenda, a cruel game he intended to play. He yanked the buffalo's ears. He slapped his face with surprising force. He hurled twigs at his sides, sharp and stinging. Each act was a deliberate provocation, a test of the gentle giant's limits. The buffalo flinched, a tremor running through his massive frame, his skin twitching at the petty assaults. A deep sigh escaped his nostrils, a cloud of dust and breath. But he did not retaliate. He absorbed the cruelty, his stillness a stark contrast to the monkey's frantic aggression, choosing patience over power. The monkey returned the next day, and the next. He jumped on the buffalo's back, pulled his tail, and shrieked insults into his ears. The buffalo's muscles tensed, his breath grew heavy. But he closed his eyes and chose stillness. The forest animals gathered around him.
Why do you endure this?
The deer demanded.
One kick
The boar growled.
would end his mischief forever.
The buffalo lowered his head.
If I strike him, I become a mirror of his cruelty.
He walked to the riverbank, the monkey still jeering behind him. The buffalo stared at his reflection in the water. He saw strength, he saw power, and he saw the danger of using both in anger.
Let him exhaust himself.
He whispered.
My patience will outlast his cruelty.
Unseen by the villagers, high in the ancient boughs of the banyan tree, a forest spirit had been watching. From her vantage point among the leaves and twisting vines, she had observed the unfolding drama for some time. She was a guardian of this place, an entity woven from the very essence of the wood, the soil, and the morning mist. She had felt the tremor of the buffalo's pain through the roots of the great tree, a sorrow that echoed in the heart of the forest itself. Moved by the creature's profound endurance, she decided to reveal herself. She descended not as a fearsome deity, but in a humble human form, clothed in simple ancient garments that seemed spun from moonlight and moss. Her presence was a quiet luminescence, a gentle glow that parted the morning mist without disturbing a single dewdrop. Each step she took was silent, her feet barely touching the sacred ground as she moved with an ethereal grace toward the suffering animal. She approached the buffalo, her ancient eyes filled with a deep, sorrowful wisdom. They held the memory of 1,000 seasons, of every leaf that had ever fallen in this forest. She saw not just a beast of burden, but a soul of immense fortitude, a being whose quiet strength was a lesson in itself. Her voice was like the rustling of leaves, soft yet clear.
Why do you endure such torment?
She asked, her hand hovering near the gnarled roots, feeling the pulse of the earth and the buffalo's pain. The buffalo replied, its voice a low rumble.
Because peace cannot grow from violence. My patience is a seed. One day it will blossom.
The great forest spirit, ancient as the mountains and restless as the wind, had watched the buffalo for many seasons. It saw a creature of immense physical power, yet one that moved with a quiet grace, a profound stillness that seemed to defy its own formidable presence. This paradox intrigued the spirit, stirring a deep curiosity within its ethereal form. It wondered if this tranquility was a mask for fear, or if it stemmed from a source of strength yet unknown. And so, with the weight of eons behind its judgment, the spirit decided to test the buffalo's heart, to uncover the true nature of its soul. The test began not with a clash of force, but with a torrent of words. She hurled insults sharper than thorns, weaving them from the buffalo's deepest insecurities. She spoke of weakness, of cowardice, of being a disgrace to the wild strength of the forest. Each word was a poisoned dart, aimed to provoke a reaction, to ignite the fires of rage that the spirit believed must lie dormant within such a powerful beast. When words failed to stir the buffalo from his calm, the spirit's frustration grew. It raised its gnarled staff, a conduit for its elemental power, and brought it down with blinding speed. She struck the ground beside her with a staff, not to harm, but to intimidate. The impact sent a shock wave of golden energy through the earth, a violent display meant to shatter the buffalo's composure and force him to acknowledge the spirit's might. The air crackled with power, the scent of ozone filling the clearing. The spirit's voice boomed, echoing off the silent trees, a direct and desperate challenge. She shouted,
Fight me, show your strength, defend your honor, or be forever known as a craven who hides from true power.
The buffalo trembled. A tremor ran through his massive frame, a physical response to the raw energy unleashed before him. His hooves dug into the earth, anchoring him not just to the soil, but to his own convictions. It was not a tremor of fear, but of immense restraint. The feeling of a great river holding itself back behind a dam. For a moment, the forest held its breath. The birds fell silent. The wind ceased its whispering. All of creation seemed to pause, waiting to witness the outcome of this divine confrontation. Then he exhaled, a slow, deliberate release of air, a plume of white mist in the cool forest light. It was the breath of acceptance, of patience, of a decision made not in the heat of the moment, but in the wisdom of a lifetime. His voice, when it came, was not a roar of defiance, but a sound as soft and deep as the earth itself.
Strength,
He said softly,
is not the power to conquer or destroy. It is the choice not to harm. It is the will to stand firm in your peace when the world demands your rage. That is a power you do not yet understand.
The spirit stepped back, her form glowing brighter than dawn.
Buffalo! Your patience is deeper than the river. Your restraint is a gift to this forest.
The animals bowed their heads in awe. The spirit turned to the monkey, who trembled for the first time.
Your cruelty ends today.
She lifted the monkey from the buffalo's back and carried him far from the forest, where he could harm no one. The forest exhaled. The buffalo returned to his banyan tree, the animals gathering around him in gratitude. He closed his eyes not in triumph, but in quiet relief. By the river, a broken twig lay on the ground, the last remnant of the monkey's cruelty. The buffalo's reflection rippled gently in the water. Patience is not weakness. It is the strength to remain gentle in a world that tests your kindness. If this story brought you insight or calm, consider subscribing for more tales of wisdom and the path within.